Every day, more and more Sony fans are having nightmares. Now, you might be asking, why are these guys having nightmares? You see, these ponies, they always claim to be winning. And right now, the PlayStation 5 Pro is not looking good. And guess what? A lot of persons are recognizing this. So much so that persons are making fun now of the PlayStation 5 Pro.
No shot, you're already having performance issues.
Can I explain? I feel like you ain't got no choice.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the point of a PS5 Pro when your performance is mid. Ooh, that was a bar.
Dog, it's not mid, it's just, we just got a few bugs that we gotta patch. Imagine patching a whole console. You know what, PlayStation, you're the first for a lot of different things. You know what? You're the soldier boy of consoles.
Okay, having a few bugs is one thing, but you're making these games unplayable. No, that's cap. That's where you wrong. You can still play them.
You just don't really look the best. It's so sad, but it make a lot of sense though. You do make sense, you know?
See, people always try to exaggerate.
Was he the first to get hacked? Hold on, let me look that up.
Look, just because you flopped on Concord doesn't mean you have to take everyone else's money and put it in failed experiments. I'm pretty sure people rather have the 3 ranks up.
So it's very clear, I'm not the only one cooking PlayStation and PlayStation 5 Pro. There are other persons recognizing that this console is clearly a money grab. But today, we are not talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Today, we are going to talk about fans. Yes, we all know that there are fans in different, on different platforms that, you know, they are sick. Whether it be Nintendo, PC, Xbox, you know, each platform would have sick fans. However, the one who basically takes the cake and is first prize or first place when it comes to having the sickest fans is without a doubt Sony. We will prove that today. In addition to that, we will be looking at how Sony should be worried because one of their newest star hit franchise is being copied. Yeah, so we will see how Sony reacts to that. So you know what? Let's get it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. So guys, before we continue the video, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Doing so would help out the channel. Of course, when you do that, it's not for free. You are getting the best Xbox content. We give you Xbox news. We throw in a little Nintendo news every now and again. And of course, we specialize in the Sony Pony Himalayan salt. So do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button today. Now let's get back to the video. So before we start, we know that the past PlayStation boss, the head honcho himself, Yoshida, would have announced that he's leaving PlayStation. He's not retiring. It's not like he's getting out of the gaming industry. He is just leaving PlayStation. Well, Phil Spencer, in his usual fashion, said this: "Congrats on an amazing career at PlayStation. You have always been a great advocate for the industry, for creators and for players. I've appreciated the time we have been able to spend talking gaming. Thank you." So yes, even as rival, Phil Spencer is the bigger man, basically saying, "Here what? You know, it was good when you and me was in the industry at the same time, you know, on rival platforms." Well, it's very interesting to see what Yoshida would have said. Yoshida replied, "Thanks, Phil. I enjoyed talking with you too. Keep doing your pioneering work." Yes, Yoshida is calling Phil Spencer a pioneer when it comes to the gaming industry and gaming. Now, of course, ponies would not like this because ponies have a lot to say about Phil Spencer, and pioneer is not one of them. But it's so happy that a real leader, a real executive, is able to recognize the good work Phil Spencer is doing on the Xbox platform, being a pioneer. Now, the question is how ponies are going to take this compliment that, you know, their past boss is giving Phil Spencer. No doubt they are going to throw a hissy fit because this is the kind of sick individuals they are. Now, let me know what you thought about that in the comment sections below. So let's now talk about fan base. We know that there are weird and sick fans on all platforms. We have to admit that. But I could say with confidence that the weirdest and the sickest of them all are without a doubt ponies. Yes, these ponies are sick. Time and time again I say it. But it's actually true. I mean, who could remember when these fans who don't touch grass, they don't know how to maybe approach a woman, would have said this when they heard that Sony was going to, censor Stellarblade. Look at this.
Hey, my name is Elliot Gomez, and I'm here recording this video, letting you know to free Stellarblade from censorship. This has gone too far, Sony. Why would you do this? You're a hypocrite for doing this. Please free Stellarblade from censorship so we can get the original version I was intended to be. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jeremy, and I am signing the Stellarblade petition because I too am tired of how Sony is constantly censoring games left and right, back and forth, for absolutely no reason whatsoever to fit some stupid, worthless, pointless agenda. Stellarblade is definitely a breath of fresh air, and it needs to stay that way. Thank you.
I'm really disappointed because as a grown man, I really expected to have at least some type of responsibility to look after myself and do what I want in the comforts of my own home.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, that's it.
Japan is a bastion of sexual freedom, and the puritanical West are trying their hardest to bring us back to sexual repression. I support this petition because I've had enough of the West constantly shoving its woke SJW feminist agenda down our throats. We're like the civil rights movement, but for video games. We can't give up, and we must keep fighting. We can win this war, and Grums will lead us into glorious victory. You can be sure of it.
Okay, first of all, let me just
Yes, when it comes to sick fans, you can't beat these ponies. Well, it just so happened that the makers of Stellarblade Shift Up had enough. Yes, they had enough of these ponies trying all sorts of ways to look under their game character dresses. So much so that they had to update the game for the game to do this. Anytime any pony tries to attempt to look up the character's dress. Look at this.
This is a sickness!
Wow. So these guys are ridiculously thirsty to be even thinking about doing anything like that while playing a video game. I mean, you have to be someone who needs help. I mean, if you're a pony and you're listening to this video and you at one time did this, go and get some help. Do it for your future family. Good God. Well, let me hear what you thought about, Shift Up adding in an animation, basically kicking back the screen from these ponies trying to look up the skirt of the characters. Next up, let's talk about Sony. Yes, Sony might be in trouble when it comes to, the mind share of their latest smash hit, which is Horizon. You see, Horizon was a game that basically came out in the PlayStation 4 generation. It's fairly new, and it has truly become a smash hit for Sony. Well, Sony is getting a little taste of their own medicine. We know Sony would have Nintendo for years, copy Xbox for years when it comes to being innovative in the gaming industry. But it just so happened someone has finally copied Sony when it comes to their original IP. Yes, take a look at this and tell me if you see a difference. So you might be asking, what am I looking at here? Well, at the bottom of the screen, that is Gorilla Games' Horizon Zero Dawn. I believe this is the remastered version. And on top, you are seeing, well, Tencent would have taken inspiration, as it were, from Sony to make, a game looking very similar to Horizon. No doubt Tencent is going after Horizon's launch money. You see, Tencent would have noticed the success that Horizon would have had so far as a franchise, and now they are looking to capitalize on that success by making a game that looks very similar to Horizon, that has similar characters to Horizon, and most likely might play similar to Horizon. Yes, Sony is finally getting a taste of what they have been doing all these years to all these other companies, copying the idea and claiming it as their own. Now let's read up and see what does this new game that Tencent is making is about. Listen.
Tencent plans to release Light of Motiram, which some say is a rip-off of Sony's Horizon games, on PS5. Clear as day, Tencent has announced plans to release its controversial open-world survival crafting game Light of Motiram on PS5 as well as mobile and PC. As reported by Gematsu, Tencent announced the PS5 version on PlayStation's Chinese social network accounts on Weibo and Bilibili. Light of Motiram, from Shanghai-based Tencent subsidiary Polaris Quest, is a free-to-play survival game, where nature meets machine. Screenshots and gameplay videos reveal a visual style remarkably similar to Guerrilla Games' Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, complete with robot beasts in a post-apocalyptic setting. IGN has asked Tencent and Sony for comment. Today, Tencent revealed a new 7-minute video showing more of Light of Motiram's gameplay. After an intro that rekindles memories of Destiny's famous Ghost, Wake Up, Guardian, opening, we see gameplay that looks heavily inspired by the likes of Capcom's Monster Hunter and Pocket Pair's Palworld, which itself was accused of ripping off Pokemon. Light of Motiram lets players befriend and raise various mechanimals, alone or with friends. You need to set up a base camp and ride tamed mechanimals as mounts, getting them to help with logging, farming, and crafting. Mechanimals can serve as ground, air, and water mounts, help in combat, and assist with resource gathering. Tencent said Light of Motiram has hundreds of realistic survival gameplay mechanics. Trees need to be carefully cut down else they deliver a swift death, a shelter has to be ventilated before lighting a fire so as not to choke, and lightning may strike more than a few times if you're caught wearing metal in a storm, the company said. These realistic details can be used to players' advantage, as for example lightning damage can electrocute fishes and make the process of fishing much easier and faster. While this sort of multiplayer survival gameplay is not featured in the Horizon games, the look and feel of Light of Motiram's characters, monsters, and world are undeniably similar. Guerrilla is of course working on a multiplayer, live service Horizon game. Light of Motiram may be treading on its toes somewhat, although we'll have to wait for a reveal to find out.
Yes, so a lot of individuals are saying that this game is looking just like Horizon, but based on that report, we are seeing that it has, elements of a lot of different type of games. We noticed that they said, you could capture different, mechanical animals, like Pokemon, so that you could traverse the environment. It's also a free-to-play game, but the style is very clear. The question is, would having this game on the PlayStation 5 bring about fatigue when it comes to this style of game? Because if you think about it, first we have the original Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. Then we have the remastered versions of those games. Then we have Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is the VR game. Then we have Horizon Lego Horizon. So there's a lot of Horizon games right now, just in the past few years. Now with this game looking so similar to Horizon, would this create fatigue when it comes to this style of game? And would this, affect the next Horizon game coming out? Would persons be all burned out of Horizon games? That is a possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. But do you think that this game looks like Horizon? Do you think that it would have an effect on the other Horizon game? If a lot of persons get into it and they could have a fatigue, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.